Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody which doesn't infringe a copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Ringo TV Reactions. Back again with another update from the Houston Police Department. We're going to go into this particular clip, listen to what they have to say, the chief and other representatives, the investigator, mayor. I'm going to kind of hear exactly what they got to say regarding the situation, and hopefully share our commentary and criticism about what's going on. If you're one of those kind of people that like to see a video just play through, you're on the wrong channel. You can go find the video yourself and watch the full video uninterrupted by my commentary. But just know that this is a reaction, which means I'm gonna play the footage, pause, react, share my thoughts. That's how we do things. That's how reaction videos are done, right? So I'm gonna get into this thing, hear what he got to say, and see if we can gain more knowledge about what happened. So let's get into this, find out what's going on. Let me tune this up. Okay. Oh. All right, let me see. All right. Yeah, so if you're joining in, we're going to take a listen to the news brief of the Houston Police Department, giving an update on what's going on. Let's take a listen to this.
John, y'all just let me know when everybody's ready. Hector.
And I had to correct the audio because the audio that is playing all over on other platforms, you only hear it from the left side of a headphones. So I have it corrected so you hear it in both headphones.
No rush, just let me know. Ready? All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Chief Fenner. The mayor's here today in support, as always, in our city, providing everything we need as resources. He's received a few calls, just as I did, and he wanted to stand, so he'll be here to make a statement later if he wants, or definitely here to answer questions. So let me speak to the human element first before we do anything. I spoke to this young man's mother just an hour ago. Flew in here from out of town. I want everybody to understand the pain, the suffering of a mother. Very tough. And I told her, as we stand with any victim of violence or any homicide victim, their family, we stand with them in this city, in this police department, and everybody that's standing behind me. I want to thank our homicide unit under the direction of Commander Spears for doing great work time and time again. I'm going to speak briefly, and I'm going to turn it over to the investigator, homicide investigator Arrington.
I think the guy named Arrington was the one that was in the other video clip that we took during that news brief when he was talking, and it appears as though he had information on what went down. So he must be the lead guy in charge of the investigation. We're going to hear more from him later on as well.
After he speaks, I'm going to get Commander Garcia to come up and translate in Spanish, and he'll go over some of the investigative parts. But let me speak to this just right. We understand and we know it. This morning at about approximately 2:34 a.m., officers received a call of a shooting in progress. Officers arrived there shortly thereafter. The location is a downtown location, billiards bowling alley located at 1201 San Jacinto Street here in the downtown area.
And also, throughout this particular news brief update, if you look carefully, it appears that this particular chief is taking this matter very, very serious. It's almost like he knows about various rappers, and he don't like what he's hearing, because this situation happened at a private situation. It wasn't like out in the hood somewhere where anybody could just run up in. It's a private situation, a private party, and it spilled outside. So this appears to be very, very personal, and they made it very clear. They said, we will find who did this. We will. So it's going to get real serious soon.
Once officers arrived, they came upon a male who was deceased. That male has been identified as Kersnick Ball, better known as Takeoff. He's a member of the Migos rap group out of Atlanta. And I want to pause again, because sometimes the hip-hop community gets a bad name. And I know, and evident from this city and people who I have a personal relationship, a lot of great people in our hip-hop community.
So he's aware of various people in the industry. He knows certain people. And it's one of those situations that really hits home, especially in his city.
And I respect them. But back to Takeoff. I got many calls from Houston and outside of Houston, and everyone spoke of what a great young man this is, how peaceful he is, what a great artist. And I'm calling up on everybody, our hip-hop artists in Houston and around the nation. We got to police ourselves.
Yep.
It is so many talented individuals, men and women, in that community who, again, I love and I respect. And we all need to stand together and make sure nobody tears down that industry. And I'm calling to start here in Houston, here and possibly as early as next week. I want to meet with some of our artists.
You see, he's pretty much going to do exactly what I was telling you in the last couple of streams. I was talking about this very thing, how as a people we have to stop this senseless killing, grabbing guns rather than just shooting the fair one. Even the mayor came out and said, you know, in my day, we just shot the fair one. We just had a fight, you know, and right after the fight, we would make back up. All of you from the 90s, 80s, you know how it was. You had a beef with somebody, y'all shot the fair one, knuckled up, and then after that, y'all were cool after that. Just because y'all shot the fair one, it's like y'all had a mutual respect for one another. The bravery that it takes to have that fair one. Nobody grabbed no gun, no knife. So he's basically saying, They're going to try to bring the industry together to kind of talk about these issues, because how many more rappers are we going to see get gunned down? How many more are next on the list? How many more?
See how we can taper things down. Right now, I'm going to turn it over to the investigator, and we'll our commander translate, and the mayor is here for questions as well. But I want to pray for, ask that we all pray for his mother, his family, and all of his friends who are in deep pain and shock still right now. Thank you. Investigator, come on up.
Thank you again, Chief, and thank you all for coming here, and good afternoon. I'm Sergeant Michael Arrington. I'm a sergeant with the Houston Police Department's Homicide Division. And earlier this morning, as he said, our patrol officers received a call at approximately 2:34 a.m. of a shooting just occurred at the 810 Billiard Factory and, Billiard and Bowling Alley. From there, we were notified that there was a single male who was shot and pronounced deceased on the scene on the third level just outside the front door. We were also informed that two other individuals had reported themselves by personal vehicle to local area hospitals on their own.
That's exactly what I was talking about in the stream. That the other two people that got shot jumped in their own vehicles. And all of those people that were at that place, a lot of them fled the scene out of fear. The police is coming. They are going to be questioning you. Whoever was there, you're most likely on surveillance. They're going to be knocking at your door. You're going to have to come forward now. All of that, we from the hood, we don't talk, we ain't snitching, we ain't this. The brother's dead. You were there. You saw something. Come on. A lot of people fled the scene. They left. They went home. They didn't care. Why didn't y'all all stick around? Who are you afraid of? You understand? They already had talks with the two individuals in the hospital. They probably got some info out of them, but I haven't heard word of no one talking to, Quavo. Where is he? Is he being protected? Did they put him in hiding? Do the police chief know him personally? What's really going on? We're going to find out more.
Both of them with non-life-threatening injuries, but a 23-year-old male and a 24-year-old female.
23-year-old male, 24-year-old female. Females was at the place too. So a female got shot. See how this is? So it wasn't just a bunch of dudes shooting at dudes. A woman got shot too. Look at the age number. 24, 23.
Like I said, both of them are going to be okay. And we have spoken and gotten information from them to help us in this investigation.
So they started to talk. They started talking. They most likely drop a bunch of names. Because, when people get shot and they got bullets in them, they're going to start to talk. They pissed off. So they're going to start speaking.
But the officers arriving on the scene, initial statements from employees working at the establishment notified us that there was an incident that occurred after the party had ended. There was a private party that was booked out for the event.
So they booked out a room after the party.
And then after that ended, there was a large group of people who gathered at the front door area just outside of the building. And it led to an argument where the shooting took place from the disagreement.
So there was a disagreement, but nowhere in this update did I hear anybody talk about a dice game, which is rather interesting being that this is an investigator. It's interesting how he don't have that information. What's really going on here? Are they just doing the typical politics of just doing a news brief, making it sound interesting, but not getting down to the nitty gritty? What did the cameras show? You know?
A lot of the people that were there fled the scene and did not stick around to give a statement.
So that is a red flag. They fled the scene and did not stick around. So that means that all the people that fled the scene, they didn't care that Takeoff was gone. They don't care. Do you see how that works, fam? Man is dead. Everybody booked. They were out. I don't want to stick around. I ain't talking to the police. You see how our people are? So that means they didn't care about this man's life. Nobody wanted to stick around and say nothing. You see how our people are? Now, if the people that were there decided to bounce, what makes you think people in the streets are going to talk? It's crazy.
We're asking them to either call us at the Homicide Division at 713-308-3600, or if they would like to remain anonymous, they can call Crime Stoppers at 713-222-TIPS. We're looking for any information at this time, any videos, any information.
You know they got video. We know they got video. You guys need to turn in all the tapes, all those cell phone footage y'all got, because we know y'all got the cameras out. We know y'all got everything. Let's just stop playing. You guys are going to get investigated. Y'all going to be placed in that hot seat. It's not going to be comfortable. These guys are coming for you. They're coming. You're not going to be able to sleep. Every last one of you that was at that event, you're going to get a knock on your door. The feds are coming. You're in trouble. They're going to hunt you down. They're going to look. They're going to ask you questions. Eventually, you're going to have to say something. So all of that street code, all of that, well, I'm not saying nothing. This man is dead and his mom is crying. Family is mourning. You got the answers. So just do the right thing. Come forward, you know. You could do that anonymously. Nobody won't know it's you. You have your options.
We do know that the media has received a lot of phone calls, text messages, Twitter, tweets, vines, videos. We need all of y'all to send those to us so we can solve this case.
You need to send those tapes in. Send those video clips in. Call the number. Let them know, look, you know, I don't want no parts of anything, but I got X, Y, and Z info. You know what I mean? I was on the left side. I saw X, Y, and Z. Boom, boom, boom. That's how that man died. But again, I don't want my name caught up in none of this mess. I got a family. You know, it's a real sketchy situation. You don't realize it. You know, I was there. I don't want nobody to know that I call. That's why they have anonymous numbers, man. Think about it, man. What if that was your son? How would you feel about that? What if he was your son? You would want somebody to say something, right? So we got to get out of this mindset of, you know, oh, I ain't saying nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the streets. What kind of stupidness is this? This man lost his life and everybody's staying quiet. This doesn't make sense. Man gets shot, everybody leaves, don't stick around for any interviews. Why? I thought y'all were cool with him.
We're looking for anything to help us. From there, as the chief said, we want to find justice for this family. They're going through a lot right now, and the only thing that we can do is hope that y'all reach out and assist us in any way.
And that's the thing about the black community. Crimes happen. Y'all know who did it. Y'all know it's dude from down the block. Y'all know he the shooter. You know those other cats right there, they always selling dope. Y'all know who's who. But y'all don't say nothing. That's madness, man. So if somebody kill your moms from the block, you ain't saying nothing.
To lead to evidence that will help us to apprehend and get charges and arrest on the person responsible for the death of Takeoff.
Thank you. Let me say something right quick just to follow up. I just want to say something to our city. It's Houston. And every brother and sister in the neighborhoods, I'm calling you to action, to step up. There were 40 people at least at this event, and people left possibly out of fear. I ask you one thing, and I want this to resonate with everybody. What if it was your brother? What if it was your son? You would want somebody to step up. So please step up, get the information to us so we can bring some closure to this family who's hurting right now. Commander, come up and translate for us. Thank you.
Muy buenas tardes a todos ustedes. Antes que nada, le queremos dar el sincero pésame a la familia de la víctima. A nombre del jefe y del alcalde, les mandamos nuestras oraciones a los seres queridos de esta víctima, que ha sido identificada como Karshnik Ball. Tenía el apodo de Takeoff. El jefe de la policía hace unos minutos habló con la mamá de este individuo. Le dio su más sincero pésame en persona, y también le dijo la mamá cómo era una persona de paz. Y toda la información que hemos obtenido hasta este momento indica lo mismo, de que este individuo era una persona tranquila, que no era violenta y que simplemente estaba en ese lugar donde había una reunión privada. El lugar de los hechos fue en el 1201 de la calle San Jacinto. El lugar se llama 810 Billiards and Bowling, que en español es billares y boliche. En el tercer piso, aproximadamente a las 2:34 de esta mañana, sucedieron los hechos. Al terminar el evento privado, salieron del lugar, y afuera de las puertas de este negocio fue cuando hubo alguna disputa, una discusión.
And he's basically just translating the same thing the chief was saying, pretty much.
Alguien produjo una pistola y fue baleado esta víctima. 2 personas adicionales también sufrieron heridas, están en un hospital local y van a sobrevivir sus heridas. De nuevo, a nombre del alcalde y a nombre del jefe de la policía, le hacemos un llamado a la comunidad, no nada más a la comunidad musical de hip hop, pero a toda la comunidad, de que lleguemos al final del uso de la violencia con armas de fuego. Un llamado para que entre todos se resuelva este caso y le demos justicia a la familia. Una vez más, si había 40 personas mínimo en el lugar, si alguien huyó del lugar por temor, les pedimos, por favor, comuníquense con la División de Homicidios al 713-308-3600. Y si quieren permanecer anónimos,
All he's doing is just repeating the same thing that the chief was saying. That's all he's doing.
háblenle al 713-222-TIPS, TIPS. Chief, you want to open up for questions?
Yeah. Mayor, go ahead.
Just a note before I turn it back over to Chief Fenner. As you have heard, this was a private party.
Private.
Last night of about 40 people. In that group, somebody or people know who the actual shooters were.
Wow.
And let me just ask, like has already been asked, that anyone who has information on the shooters to provide that information to HPD.
Now, what he just said right there is very profound, because the people that were there, they know who's who. Oh yeah, this was a private. See, this is what a lot of people are not getting. This wasn't a random situation of somebody just kind of running up in and doing whatever. This was private, which means they booked the room where they were at, and a selected few of people were there. Nobody else could get in. So if somebody's shooting, you know who did it. Somebody know who did it. It's no escaping. Whoever did this is going to get caught. But based on the story and different testimony and speculation and things floating around, it seems like gunfire came from two different sides. So there's going to be a lot of people getting in trouble with this one. We ain't going to hear the last of this, man.
And let us solve this situation.
In other words, let us solve the situation, because they know it's going to go to the streets. They know that it's going to get messy.
Let us bring justice to this family. But I'm asking for any of the persons who were at this private party that know, that have information on the shooters, please provide that information to HPD and let us solve it. We will solve this particular case. We will find the shooters. But information provided would help to expedite that. But we will. I do want to extend my condolences to the mom of Takeoff, to all the family members of Takeoff, to the families and friends. So I do want to, I want to do that, because it doesn't matter how famous you are. You may not be famous at all. Anybody who loses his or her life is a life loss. And there are family members and friends who are grieving as a result.
That's true. The family is grieving. The mother is grieving. And the people that were at this event know who did it. So you need to come forward out of respect for this brother's mom. Just do the right thing. I mean, if you come forward, there was 40 people there. Nobody ain't gonna know you said something. They won't know. It's either you do the right thing or you're gonna be haunted. And if it turns out that you don't say something and you had some sort of connection to the person that did it, eventually you're gonna go down. You're gonna get yourself caught up in something. Eventually you're gonna get caught. So to the shooters, whoever was involved, y'all just need to just turn yourself in on this one, because they're gonna get you. They're gonna get them shell casings. They're gonna start doing their forensic stuff. They're gonna start doing all that detective work. Y'all done. So might as well y'all just go and turn yourself in and just call it a day. You know, I mean, just make it easy. You know, because the man is dead. Y'all could have solved that another way. Whatever issue took place, it need to be resolved. And to the 40 plus people in there, if Quavo allegedly escalated this situation or provoked this situation, that needs to come out. We need to know that. We need to have that information to bring closure, to stop the rumors, speculation. We need hardcore facts, testimony from people that were actually there, so that people can understand what took place and who's at fault. And if Quavo's team allegedly is at fault, even if you are even if you down with them, you gotta do the right thing, fam. You gotta do the right thing. This man is dead. Enough of that. Well, you know, I don't wanna get the brother in trouble. I don't wanna say, hey, somebody gonna have to take this thing. And look, if one of your peeps made a mistake and shot this brother allegedly and he died, he need to come forward, bro. You need to come forward. You're going to have to come forward on this one, man. Because here's the thing. If it happened like that allegedly and you guys try to cover it up because you don't want to see your man go to prison, that means you got no love for Takeoff. You don't got no love for him. You rather just him die and to protect somebody else. That's crazy. So if your shooter allegedly did that, and he got to go down for what it was, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Just, hey, when he behind bars, you guys got money, y'all could take care of him. It's just one of those situations where it's like you gotta roll the dice on this one. You know, somebody going down for this. So y'all gonna have to talk about that one. You're gonna have to just let them know, like, fam, look, love you and all, but you know, we're gonna have to make that call. You're gonna have to just go down there, turn yourself in. Don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of you. We're gonna do what we gotta do. You're gonna serve some time. We'll see. We got lawyers. We got this. Y'all gonna have to fix this one quick. You're gonna have a long talk with your people and get this thing sorted out fast. Because once those guys in the background start getting to work, y'all done. This is what they do. They're gonna find all the pieces. They're gonna have all the evidence, and y'all done. So just do the right thing.
What I've consistently said over the last several months is that I'm concerned with this age group, this young group between 16 and 24. Let's say 16, 24, 16 and 30. There are too many young men of color that are killing young men of color.
That's true. I talked about that in my last stream. It was a powerful stream. There's too many of us brothers killing each other, man. This stuff is senseless. Senseless. We just enjoy killing one another.
And we do need to have that conversation. We do need to deal with it head on. This was a private party, private event coming at the end, and then we have the shooting, and now one person is no longer with us. And it's not just in the hip-hop community, and I just don't want to demonize this group, but it's across the board with this demographic, where people are no longer resolving their disputes or their arguments through a fist fight, but now everybody has access to guns, and so when there's a disagreement, people pull their guns and they start shooting, and then people are fatally shot and killed, or people are injured, and that's unfortunate. In my day, you have a disagreement, fist fight, and you deal with it.
Wow. You see that? In his day. He said in his day, you solve your issues by having a fist fight. That's how you handle it. You have a fist fight, you knuckle up, and that's it. Fight is over. Okay, we let off some steam. Got a couple of bruises, black eye, busted lip. Okay, cool. Now we have a certain level of respect for one another because we were both brave enough to throw hands, and we learned from the situation. Now we cool again. At least that's how it was when I was coming up. Pretty much everybody I had a fight with, like hand-to-hand fight, we ended up becoming friends after that. We were enemies, but then we became friends. I don't know why it's like that, but we end up becoming friends, which is a good thing. But in this day, people don't do that. It's like with black men, first thing you guys do is go get a gun. And I think it's really out of fear. I think what it is the fair one is a thing of the past because a lot of guys, they're not trained. They won't even last 5 minutes. They'll be tired and they figure, you know what? Forget this fair one stuff. I'm scared. I'm just going to take this person out. So I think it's out of fear that a lot of black men resort to shooting. I don't think it's about being tough. I think it's a fear of, I just don't want to see you. Like, I don't want to see you because I don't want to keep fighting and beefing, so I'd rather just take you out. I think that's what it is, man. It's like a great fear. It's crazy. But what he said right there was real talk. Said, hey, in my day, we had a fight. Which is basically what he's saying is, look, if you guys had a disagreement, that's what y'all should have did. Have a fight, but not kill each other.
In this day, if there's a disagreement, in those few seconds when the emotions are running high, people pull their guns and then they're shooting. And as a consequence of that, we have too many young men of color that are being injured or fatally killed, and their future is cut off, and family members and friends are left to mourn. This does not have to be our reality, and it need not be our future. And so as it relates to this particular incident, what I would say to the people in this city and even beyond, we will solve this crime.
He said, we will solve this crime. The crime is going to get solved. There will be justice for Takeoff. They're going to solve the crime. Eventually, they're going to solve it. But things can be, expedient if people actually turn in their videos, photos, because we know you got them, and turn in the names, because we know you know who's who. Y'all all know, y'all know who did it, bro. Y'all know who did it. If I'm in a room and it's a private room, whatever, and we in there, whatever, I'm watching everybody. I'm seeing what's happening. So I know everybody know and we're aware of who's who. So y'all need to answer for this one.
Let us solve this crime.
Yeah.
Let us bring the persons of persons to justice, and we will.
He said, let us do it, because he know a lot of times in the streets, everybody want to stay on the quiet because they figure, you know what, we're going to do it our way. We're going to handle it the street way. That's why he said what he just said right there.
And then we will continue to move to make our city a safer city. It's disappointing after putting in place One Safe Houston, which is still in place, when the numbers are trending in the right direction, when homicides in the city of Houston are below, 11% below last year, when the numbers of violent crime in almost every category are down in comparison to last year. But one incident, one loss of life through shooting is one too many, irrespective of the numbers trending in the right direction. So just wanted to let people know this particular crime will be resolved and it will be addressed. But if you have any information for those in the hip hop community, to those who were there last night, please provide that information to HPD.
They need that info, fam. They need that info. Y'all gonna have to come forward. Come on forward, man. Do the right thing. Enough playing around. Y'all were there. It's not like it was a concert where it's a bunch of people and nobody don't know who's who. This is a private event. It was about 40 of you there. Come forward. Make it easy. Make it simple. This brother's mom is crying and mourning. Do the right thing. Quavo, you know what's going on. Let's stop playing. Step out of the celebrity status. Let's start to be reasonable here. If you got any involvement in this, allegedly, you need to come forward, cooperate with local authorities, do what you need to do for your nephew. You know anybody in that room, you better get to talking, because people are going to want to know. I don't want to hear that, oh, we didn't know each other. Yeah, okay. Y'all know who this is. Y'all know what happened. Crazy situation, fam. Crazy, crazy situation how these things go.
And then let us work to quickly resolve it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, go ahead.
There is some speculation on social media that Takeoff may not have been involved in the beef of whatever went down. Is there any indication that he was caught in some sort of crossfire, or even perhaps shot by a associate of his?
I don't want.
That's a good question. by the news reporter. He said that there's speculation on social media that there's a possibility that Takeoff was caught in a crossfire and he wasn't the intended target. That kind of correlates with the earlier streams I did. And it could be possible that based on the fact that we know this guy wasn't in no drama, he wasn't in no beef, he may have been caught in the crossfire. Let's hear what the chief have to say, because his body language is just not sitting right with me. It's almost like it's like one of them situations where you know your son murdered somebody, but you know you can't. You know it's your son that did it, but you have a job to do. You know what I mean? Like, it's sort of like you know the person personally, and you know they had an involvement, but you have a job and obligation, but you're trying not to show that emotion. That's how the chief looks.
I want to speculate, but I do want to say, based on what people say about him, he's well respected, nonviolent. I would not expect him to be involved, okay? But I do want to wait on the investigation, but we have no reason to believe that he was involved in anything criminal.
Now, if you listen carefully, he just said he want to wait on the investigation. But then he turned around and said, you know, I don't think that Takeoff had anything to do with this criminally, or so he know that this guy is not that type of guy. You see that? He knows that he's not really the type of guy that get involved in these type of beefs and all this other stuff. So the question from the news reporter could have a lot of value and meaning, because he may have been caught in the crossfire. Because based on how this thing is spilling out, it seems as if though it came out of the room. So whatever room they were in, it looked like it spilled outside, and someone was targeted. That's how it's looking. Because even if you look at the actual photos of Takeoff on the floor, it's in the area where there's like a corridor area or whatever, where you know there's some stairs. So it looked like it's in the open outer area. So that happened in the outer area. You see? Not necessarily in a enclosed space. So once you understand that, it could have been some sort of altercation over money, allegedly. And then it turned into this situation here. Because how is it that Takeoff get caught? It could have been someone else that was targeted. And that's what the report is basically trying to bring out.
At the time, just as people describe him, a very peaceful, loving, great entertainer.
Was there a dice game going on in his pocket?
That's still part of the investigation.
Wow. That's my first time hearing it. And I actually looked at this review when it was live. The reporter just said, was there a dice game going on? And quickly the chief just shut it down and said, look, that's a part of our investigation. We're trying to investigate. Look, man, you guys y'all got to do better than this, man. Y'all got to stop speaking this political language, this, media coverage type damage control stuff, and just get to the point, because the internet is talking, and we got our own street reporters that are on scene. And word on the street is that there was an alleged dice game. And if the news reporters is pushing that out there, obviously they're keeping their ears to the internet too. They watching social media just like they watching me right now. They watching me. So they know But the chief is saying, you know, still under investigation and all this other stuff.
I don't want to speculate on that. I want to determine that, and we're still on the early stages. It's only happened a few hours ago, I meant to say. So go ahead.
Can I ask either you or the detective, based on the shell casings that you found there and other information, how many firearms were used in this incident?
At least 2.
Wow. Wow. The reporter asked about the shell casings. The shell casings that are at the scene. And the chief confirms that there was 2 firearms. So now that right there is substantiating the clip that I showed you guys in the last stream that was sent to me regarding a possible situation where there was an altercation, allegedly, over money. And based on that information, it appears as if though someone from the camp of the Migos allegedly opened fire and was randomly shooting wild, allegedly. And based on that, it was said that Takeoff got shot by friendly fire. And then the other opposing group, they were also firing back. So if the chief confirmed that there was 2 guns, come on, man. All you gotta do is just put the puzzle together.
At least 2 right now, and with the processing of the scene, and you know, we trace casing. So, you know, we're in the process of doing that.
So it sounds as though the suspect or suspects were at this private party.
We believe so. Yeah. Go ahead.
Outside or inside?
Outside.
And Chief, you mentioned that you don't believe that Takeoff was involved in the altercation. Are you confident saying that you don't believe Takeoff may have been the intended target here?
I'm not comfortable in saying that. I don't want to speculate, not at this time.
See, he's just with this, I'm not comfortable with speculating. You know, you're a chief. Ain't nothing wrong with speaking your mind and your thoughts. Ain't nothing wrong with doing that. I understand the profession, but at the same time, you're still human, right?
Go ahead.
But based on the comments of young men, even black men, do you think this individual is the suspect might be younger than, let's say, 20?
I think they were probably all in their 20s, okay? But again, I don't like speculation. We want to wait until we nail it down. I want us to all understand the family is hurting, and I don't mind the questions. I mean, that's a part of it. But if we send our family, our loved ones who are looking and listening on a roller coaster, that's what I always caution against as the police chief. I want to make sure that we're taking them in consideration. But
listen, y'all got to get out of that emotional stuff. Like the chief is talking here about the family is listening and they feeling some type of way. Listen, forget all of that emotional stuff. This is real. You can't be trying to watch everything you say because you don't want to offend somebody. You understand? You got to be real and you got to understand what's going on. And there's nothing wrong with speculating. It's not like you're saying, hey, this is a fact. You have an obligation to free think. You're not a robot, you know? It ain't like, okay, the family's listening, they just crying while watching me. They're not even probably watching you. You know what I mean? I cannot stand how people, it's like they're not even human. Everybody just want to be robots and just not offend, and they don't want to speak their mind, and everybody's afraid to talk. I cannot stand that kind of world. You got to learn how to just speak your mind and just say what's on your heart.
We are gonna, bottom line, mark my word, and mark it. This great city, with our great citizens, with our police department, we will find who's responsible for it. Go ahead. I don't want to judge them at this moment right now. I want to call them to action. And the mayor said it, and this is very important. And I don't want my message to get twisted up either, because sometimes people take a portion of what you say and they take away from the context of the message
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. Tell me about it.
you're trying to bring. It's not just hip hop. It is that age, and we need to give them some help. We've done a lot of things in our city. We need to cultivate them.
No. Chief, you partially correct, but you wrong. This have a lot to do with hip hop. It's not just the age group. This has a lot to do with hip hop. It's not just the age group. It has a lot to do with hip hop. Hip hop has a spirit on it. A lot of these rappers have spirits on them. A lot of them do rituals, blood sacrifices. A lot of these record labels do blood sacrifices. Before they even release an album, they have blood sacrifices and rituals to gain profits and success. These things are real. Do you understand me? It's not just the age group. Remember, the music is what fuel the spirits behind the individuals that listen to it. And we know that youngsters are more likely to be influenced by the music than older men. You know, men that are more seasoned, they're able to think more clearly. But the youth, they're more impressionable and easy to influence. So when all they're hearing is I'm a thug, trap house, gangster, trap music, shoot 'em up, sell dope, get the bag, the bling. And this is all they hear every day, all day, every day, all day. They become exactly what they hear. Right? Yeah, we talked about all of that stuff earlier in the day. We talked about the album. We talked about the music. We talked about the song that was released. All that info I've been covering. I'm the first to actually cover all these stories. We've been covering these stories all day with some updates and different things. And we talked about how being that this is a new album, again, could have been a blood sacrifice. And another thing is this. A lot of you may not know, but a lot of artists are more profitable dead than alive. You need to do your research on that. Those of you who know the industry and you understand how things go, a lot of these artists, believe it or not, are more profitable dead than alive. Let that marinate.
Be there and support them. Now, there's a few in any population or any community that are just evil. And that's a very few. And I don't know the backgrounds of these people. Let us find out who did it. Let us do our investigation. But those individuals that I talked about that are committing crime after crime, don't know if this is the case here, but we do have at least two individuals pulling triggers around here. We're going to get them in custody, okay?
They're going to get them in custody. Y'all better come forward.
I know you mentioned that.
Let me get her, and then I'll come back. I want to get, and then if we got time, we'll get back. Yes. We're viewing it as part of the investigation, and that may uncover something, but the best thing that we have, because even if we have a face, the best thing somebody can stand up because somebody knows exactly who it was.
You see that? He said somebody know exactly who it was. Somebody know exactly who it is. Even if they got the footage, even if they got the tapes and they got a face. Somebody in that room, they know where that person live. They know their name. They know what kind of car they drive. So that's what I'm saying. This is why a lot of the people that were there, they left and they voted, because a lot of them might be family, and the last thing they want to do is turn in their cousin that they known all their life. It's a tough decision. I mean, imagine that's your cousin that's the shooter, and you and him is mad cool. That's your boy. It's like, we cool. Yeah, Takeoff got killed. We get it. but that's your cousin. So it's like a lot of people would just turn a blind eye. I'm just telling you how dirty the game is. That's how dirty it be. They'll be like, look, that's my cousin. I'm not turning him in. I don't care. You know, it is what it is. Things happen. But you're going to get caught anyway. So, and here's another thing. Here's another thing that for you to consider in case you are a relative of the shooters. If it come to find out after the investigation that they locate the shooter or shooters, and it come to find out that there are other people that were at that event or that private party and you are the family member of said individual, do you realize that you're gonna go down too? You're gonna get caught in the crossfire too, because if you are the blood relative of one of those shooters and they investigate all the people that were there and it come to find out when they put 2 and 2 together and your name and that person's name come together and find out that you are family, there is no way you can tell the detectives that you didn't know that that guy was the shooter. You're going to go to jail too. I'm just letting you know, even if you didn't pull the trigger, you're going to jail. They're going to tie you into it. That's how they do it. By the pure fact that you're a blood relative family member, you're going down too. They're going to throw you in too, just for the fact that you were there. And you know your cousin did this, and you ain't let nobody know, like you just kept it to yourself. You better start talking, bro.
And I'm really confident that somebody's going to step up. Anybody over here, and then I'll come back to you. Go ahead. And then I'll come back to you.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Did the argument start at the party, or was it an argument or a disagreement that had...
That's still part of the investigation. At some point, I think there was a disagreement on something. And
Listen. Your investigator said that there are 2 people that went to the hospital. Y'all could get all that information right from the 2 people that were at that hospital. Let's stop playing games, man. Let's stop playing these games. Y'all playing too much now. Y'all playing too much. Y'all just running around, dancing around the story, acting like y'all need people to come forward and talk. No, you have 2 individuals that were shot. Those are your best witnesses. You got 2 people, take them in, put them in that seat, and you grill them. And you ask them questions. They were there. We got 2 people that was there. Let's stop playing. Stop playing. You know what I mean? Everybody else left? Cool. We got 2 individuals that was at that party. You take them in, you interrogate them for questioning, and you find out what happened. Let's stop playing. Y'all playing. The chief is playing. The investigators playing. Y'all playing yourselves at this point. You got 2 people that were at that hospital in your custody. So you got their names, because I know you got their names, because a crime was committed. A crime was committed, somebody died, so you're going to get their names, you're going to get their addresses. So you got that information already. You're police people. You know these things already. So let's stop playing. Those 2 people hold the key to who was in that room. So you don't need a camera, you don't need surveillance, you don't need none of that when you got those 2 people. And you got Quavo. Let's stop the BS, fam. I personally believe that the chief know some of these rappers allegedly, and he's trying his best to just stay in character, because I don't hear nobody talking about them questioning Quavo. He was there. Y'all talking about people leaving. We need to hear from people that left the party. Quavo was there. What are we talking for? Let's go. Look, let's go get Quavo. Let's gather him up. Bring him down to the station. We need to talk to you, fam. It's your nephew. You were there. You got to talk, bro. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to talk, fam. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to mess nothing up for myself. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's my nephew and all, but damn, bro. Like, yo, You know what I'm saying? Other people could talk, not me, man. I got too much to lose, fam. It's like the chief don't even want to talk about him, bro. Call up Quavo, bring him in. Those other 2 people that got shot, bring them in. Bring all 3 of them in. Have them sit down. Sit down right there. And talk to them for 8 hours like y'all normally do. Talk to them for 8 hours. Matter of fact, y'all be talking for like 10 hours. 10 hours. Have them sitting in that same hard chair, uncomfortable for 10 hours. We got to get down to the bottom of this. A crime was committed. What did you see, Quavo? What's their names? What happened? Were you rolling dice? Who's the shooter? Anybody from your entourage had a gun? Come on, man. Y'all not investigating this thing. I need to be hired to investigate this. Y'all not investigating this. Y'all playing. Y'all playing. It's just typical politics, man. They playing.
Still trying to determine that and work that out. But again, once we determine it, we'll put it out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead, sir.
Chief, is there anything you can share with us about
I don't know right now, just the private party at that location. That's going to be part of the investigation. We need to talk to management. We need to talk to individuals who were actually there. A lot to go in this investigation.
You can talk to Quavo. What is the holdup? Why are we still playing this game? Why are you not talking? Talk about Quavo, Chief. Quavo. Why is he being protected right now? Who's hiding him? Who's protecting Quavo? What's going on?
Early on. Go ahead, Cynthia.
Just talk a little bit about where this fits in the sort of broader picture of what Houston's been dealing with for the last couple of years, right? I mean, the mayor did mention
I don't think it's St. John, it's just Houston. I think it's society. And I've said this probably 1,000 times, over the last year and a half or so. Nobody knows, okay? This thing with COVID, criminologists are going to be studying this here for years, So go ahead, Mayor.
Let me address that, because I want to make it very clear that this is not a Houston unique situation. And I know all this year and all these months, people have been trying to make this a Houston unique situation. Just this morning, I'm looking at all the crime stats of all of the major cities, okay? Houston is not the worst city.
I don't like the fact that the mayor is using this as an opportunity to compare crime in other places compared to Houston. I don't like that. I think that you guys need to focus on the actual crime and not make this a political thing, because it seems like you're more concerned about the image of Houston and not the actual crime. So I think it's rather unpleasant to even address that.
Far from, okay? Every city in this country is facing issues. But the good news in this city, what I can say, is that we are trending in the right direction. We have 46 fewer homicides.
See, he's focusing on the image of Houston rather than focusing on the fact that a man is dead. I think that's unacceptable. I think that's disgusting, because it's like you're worried about crime going down and the image of Houston because you're looking at the fact that, this brother was murdered you're looking at it as a dent to all the work that was done, the progress that was done. And it just brings Houston back down, and it makes people question your job as mayor. So it's like, it looked like you're just more concerned about your own public perception of what people think of you. And that's why you're trying to address these little things. I could read these people, man. It's very simple to read these folks.
This year than we had last year. If it was 46 more than last year, you'd be hearing about that. And you would be reporting on that. But no one is reporting that we have 46 fewer homicides this year than the same time last year. Homicides 11% below where we were last year. But I will say this. This was not an incident that happened just like in an open club, where people can come in and come out and nobody knows our.
Listen.
This was a private event.
A private event. That's the part that people are not getting. It's not an open event where everybody could just be out there doing whatever and somebody got shot and we don't know what's going on. This is a private event, which means the people that were there, they have to know each other. They have to know each other. Something went down. They know who's who. This is crazy.
And based on the investigator, about 40 people.
40 people. Wow.
It is important for the hip hop community, for everybody else, for the city, for the family. Mm-hmm. It is important for those who have information on who the shooters were to make that information known. There's a responsibility and accountability on all of us to do that. And that's why I want to deal with the subject matter, that there are too many young men of color lives are being cut short from other young men of color.
And that's a sad situation that this has to go across the news stations of men of color, while all the other nations is looking around like, man, these people just can't get it together. All y'all doing is killing one another. That's how our image is looking. Here you have a black mayor talking about this issue. You have the Hispanic brother behind him. You have the white guy on the other side. Think about how that sounds as our image as men, as black men, is being painted of. Like all we doing is killing one another. Senseless crimes. It's crazy.
And that has to stop because that's tragic.
Yep.
And so I want to again to plead to the persons who were there, who have information on who these shooters were. Give HPD, law enforcement, that information so we can solve this situation sooner rather than later. So you don't have others out there trying to solve it for themselves.
You see that?
Okay?
Wow.
We owe that to Takeoff's mom and to the family. And I want the mother to know and the family members to know that this city is praying for them. And we value their family members' life. Okay? And we intend to solve it. And that's why we're all standing here. We intend to solve it. Okay? Because these type of shootings just can't happen, and then we move on to the next one.
Right.
Thanks, Mayor. I'm going to take a couple of more. Somebody who hadn't asked the question yet. Go ahead.
Was his uncle Quavo there when the shooting occurred, and is he working with investigators?
Boom.
I'm not sure exactly who was there. We're going to determine that.
You see this nonsense? Chief, I don't trust you, bro. I don't trust you, bro. The red flags are there, fam. I'm sorry. I mean, you seems very passionate about the situation. You seem like a stand-up guy, but my alarm clocks is going off. The red flags are there. My natural ability is just flowing. You were just asked, was his uncle Quavo there? And you're like, I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't know? And you're the chief. Do you know this guy? Do you know Quavo personally? Do you know his family? Right? Do you know him? I want to know. Because you saying you don't know if he was there, the reporter asks a valid question. Oh, I don't know. We're investigating that. So let me get this straight. You're investigating that. So you want us to believe that Takeoff was just there by himself. We know Takeoff died, but you don't know if Quavo was there. Two people shot in the hospital. Nobody questioned them to know if Quavo was there. So you don't know that. You don't know. How do you take these people serious, man? I really feel, man, listen, when I tell you, I really feel that the chief allegedly know Quavo personally. Yeah. I see the language on his body language, man. The face, man. The facial expressions, all of that type of stuff. Man, you wouldn't believe it. And again, a lot of rappers know a lot of the police officers because a lot of times when they go do concerts and come to the cities, you know, the chief is always notified that certain artists is coming in. They let their officers come out. So there's a relationship between a lot of the rappers and a lot of the chief of police and various other law enforcement. There's a relationship between them because when they come into town, they got to provide security and other different things in place. So they're familiar and they get to talk to the chief and other folks in law enforcement. They have that relationship. So I believe that there's a possibility that the chief know Quavo personally, allegedly, and he's just trying to avoid talking about him at all costs. I believe that.
I don't say that anybody hadn't been working with us. It's just happened 2:30 a.m. this morning. So we expect family members and everybody to work with us, and we'll get with you on that. Who was it? Juan, go ahead.
The people who were injured, were they shot also, and were they friends of Takeoff?
We don't know the relationship right now. We just know that they're in a hospital. I think our investigators had an opportunity to briefly talk with them, but they're being tended to. So we'll get back at them maybe later on today or tomorrow. So,
were they shot?
yeah. Yes. Go ahead.
Chief, I wanted to go back to something you mentioned earlier. Outside of the blanket call for evidence and people to come forward, as kind of we're used to hearing, I felt like you had a moment there where it almost felt personal here. And I'm just curious for everyone to hear one more time. For the dozens of witnesses who saw this play out, what is your message to them?
Now, the reporter asked them something along the lines of, this situation seems very personal to you. Then he asked them, to the 40 some odd people that was there, what is your message to them? See, everybody in that room can read the body language of the chief. It seems like it's very personal to him, like almost as if though he know these individuals or know several of these individuals, and he just hate to know that, damn, this happened and now I got to do my job. Put him in a rough situation.
You asked for my personal, and I don't like to put it on Troy Fenner, but I'm proud of my city. I love this city. I love this department. And I know the heart of our people. I spent the majority of 55 years in this city, and I know what we're about. So that's what I'm trying to wake up. And if I got to do that and calling people, that's what I want to do. And it is personal. But it's not only personal for this incident. Anybody that's killed in our city, like our mayor has said time and time again.
No. You said it is personal, which means the situation that happened is personal. And I understand that you want to be fair and balanced because you don't want the people of Houston to think that you are somehow, I guess, going hard enough for this matter because of it involves Takeoff, the Migos. You don't want other families that may have lost loved ones to feel like, oh, they're getting some sort of special treatment. I get you're going to do the whole politics, all of that other stuff, but it feels like this situation is really personal to you. You know what I mean? I really believe that there's a possibility that the chief knows Quavo personally. Probably seen him grown up, you know what I mean? And I don't know. That possibility is there.
You take it personal. And I don't know how a chief of police don't take it personal.
And there's nothing wrong with him being passionate about his job and the city. It's good to actually hear a chief talk like this. You know what I mean? That's actually good. Because normally if the chief is passionate about his city and want to see things progress, then that trickles down to the actual police officers in terms of their training, how they conduct themselves with people. You understand? Because if the chief is corrupt, the police, the regular officers, going to be corrupt too. It always flows from the top down. So
now it may. I don't have any gray hairs because I'm bald headed. Okay, it may do that to me. May add a little bit of stress, but you know what? I don't know how police chiefs in our nation don't care, and I can tell you most of them care as much as I care. But I got a lot of strong men and women on our team, and we're going to get justice for this family.
He said they're going to get justice.
Witnesses who saw this play out, what would you ask them?
Just step up. Real simple. Just like I said, I've always said, people, what if it was your family member? What would you want them to do? Real simple. Let's get a.
I was just going to ask you.
And I'll come back to you.
Speaking of the personal angle, from your office, you can clearly see Green Street, probably the spot where this happened.
Wait a minute. He just said something there that was very telling. I'm not sure, but I'm not sure if everybody heard that. But did he say that you can see the street from where this happened? Green Street? He said from your office, you could probably see where this happened from Green Street. You can see from your office. See, I need somebody that actually is from Houston, that know the area, because I'm going to have to go on Google Map and find out, is the police headquarters where the chief is at near the location where this took place? Because the reporter just said something along the lines. Matter of fact, I don't know. See, I can't do that here because the volume is low. But did y'all all hear that? Did y'all all hear what was said? I'm gonna see if I can rewind it back a little bit and see if y'all can pinpoint what was said. Let me see. Oh, I clicked the wrong one. Damn. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to rewind it. I don't think so. Anyway, I'll just continue. I ain't gonna be able to rewind it. But if you heard what was said, he said something along the lines that you could see the area from where your office is on Green Street. Is there such thing as Green Street? See, again, I'm not from over there. Because now if the chief is in the area, then there is a possibility that the chief was fully aware, allegedly, that those guys was over there. Hey, this thing is getting more fishy, man. This is getting way more fishy now. Let's hear what he got to say.
In general terms, though, downtown, the entertainment district, this is highly unusual, no? Especially when you consider all the fans here for the World Series, too, who may be looking at this from afar thinking, what's going on in Houston?
We want to put it in perspective. Crimes can happen anywhere, but don't forget.
In other words, if you look at what was just said there, they're basically saying this happened right under your nose. Basically, that's what they're saying. In other words, your office is right down there. You can look from your office window and see the location where this happened. That means crime is happening right under your watch. That's heavy. In other words, people are so brave, they'll commit murder when you're right down the street. Now, again, I don't know, but it is what it is. Let me see. Hey, can say his office was closed. Even if the office is closed, the point is that how can this happen and the chief's office is right down the street? It doesn't ring any bells, like no red flags. This is crazy, man. But well, let's just get back into this, man. And again, you're gonna only get this type of information from Ringo TV Reactions. We've been covering the story heavy all day. We're providing you the best commentary on YouTube. Nobody broke it down like this. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell for all so that you can get notified. And make sure you give the video a thumbs up. Let's continue.
Don't forget, private event. And I'm not trying to diminish it in any, it's a private event. It's not a random just out on the street. So I want people to understand that. Got a great city with a lot of great people. And we're going to be fine here. But we got work to do. And I'm going to take 2 more because all my investigators are behind me and they got to get back, okay? I'm going to get you and then I'm going to come back at you, okay? It's all right? Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
So he's making it clear that this event was private. So don't look at it like we need to fear that crime is up in Houston. It's not like these guys are going to be killing people all in the street. It was a private event. That's what he's trying to establish there.
Did the party end at 2:30 or was this group outside for quite some time?
I'm not sure on that. I hope events are ending at least at 2 a.m. That's part of the investigation, but I know the shooting did occur outside, okay? Yeah, go ahead.
Chief, at this time, do you guys know how many times Takeoff was shot?
I don't know right now. And unfortunately, he has to, the autopsy will take place. And
how you don't know and you're the chief? This is, how you don't know? How you don't know? It's not adding up. How you don't know how many times he was shot? How you don't know and the internet know? Allegedly. You ain't get a photo, you ain't get word where he got shot. Nothing? And you're the chief? Come on, man. I mean, are these guys getting paid under the table? Like, did somebody pay them a visit and say, look, we need y'all to go up there and talk, make it look good. We got to cover the situation up. We got too many people we got to protect. We got the bottom line. We got to protect the bag. Please go out there and do the damage control. Go and find out, man.
I don't know, probably sometime tomorrow they'll get that information to us again. I don't want to speculate, but again, in closing, pray for that family. Pray for everybody involved. His mom, I don't know her, but my heart goes out to her, and people don't understand the human element. And that's what we want these young men to think about. Stop just pulling the darn trigger. Think and calm yourself down a little bit, you know, but that's what we got to work on as a society. So thank y'all. All right.
All right. There you have it. So we heard the news brief. We heard what he had to say. We heard from the mayor. We heard from the detective and the investigator. That was the same guy that's right there at the above me on that side right there. That's the same, looked like the same guy that was in the street. So they pretty much are on the case right now. And I don't know. They definitely getting down to the bottom of this one. So what are your thoughts about this? What are your thoughts? You can leave those in the comments once we go off the air. But Crazy situation, fam. Where is Quavo? Why the two people that got shot? Why they didn't come forward? Why they're not talking? When are they going to come forward with the truth? When this man's body is on the floor and it seemed like nobody's talking. It's crazy, man. Listen, we should know who killed this man already. It shouldn't take this long. I don't hear nobody ain't talking about where Quavo at. He knows who did this. He know who did this. The two people that were shot, they know who did this. And everybody's hiding right now. Everybody's in hiding. You can't run from this one. Y'all can't say, oh, some random guy just came in and shot this brother. Y'all know who did it. And Quavo, you need to talk. You're not going to be able to sleep at night. Everybody's going to question you in the industry. You're not going to be able to get away from it. You need to come forward. Let's stop playing games. Chief of Police, you need to stop playing. Stop playing games. Let's stop acting all political. You know, I understand the mayor, you know, run things and, you know, they can pretty much get rid of you. But at the end of the day, you got to do the right thing. If you know this man personally, you need to come forward yourself and give him that call and tell him, come on down. You got to talk. You got to talk to us, fam. I understand. You know, maybe y'all was out there gambling, rolling some dice. You lost a couple of thousands of dollars, probably million. If the shooter is one of the family members, y'all got to turn them in. Quavo, you got to turn them in. Quavo, it's time for you to turn them in. Stop playing around. Turn them in. This brother dead. You got to turn him in. Turn him in. You got to do what you got to do, fam. You know who did it. You seen who pulled the trigger. Because if there was an altercation, y'all had to see hands. Y'all saw faces. Y'all know who did it. Let's stop playing. We don't need to drag this on for a whole week to a month. Forget all this investigation. Just let them know who did it. Somebody said, let me see. Jacqueline said, what if it was Quavo himself? Wow. That right there. Hey. I don't know, man. That could be, allegedly. You never know. And that's why the chief is sort of like, that's crazy if that happened, man, you know he done. If Quavo turned out to be the shooter and shot his nephew by mistake, it's over for him. He's done. He's finished. Career's over. You know? But anyway, y'all, I'm going to get up on out of here. Do what I got to do. Is the video playback clear for you guys? Because I'm looking at the playback on YouTube on this monitor, and it looked kind of blurry. Like it's not in 1080p. I need to know if it's good on y'all end. You know? Or maybe it's just my system is tripping out. I don't know, because I've been streaming all day long. And it's like, oh, okay, so, all right, so then it's probably on my end. Because I got to do some work on this computer here. All right, y'all. So final thoughts. More information is going to come out. Definitely, we're going to learn more. And we're going to continue to keep you updated on this. Eventually, they're going to find who did it. And it's going to be shocking when they show the footage, man. Let's hope it's not Quavo. What is Offset saying about the situation? Anybody have any word on Offset? What is he saying about the situation? We know he wasn't there, allegedly. So what exactly is he saying about the situation? What is his thoughts? Anybody have that info? I would like to know what he's thinking about the situation. But anyway, guys, we're going to get up on out of here. Appreciate everybody that support the stream, everybody that Cash App, Super Chat. Appreciate everybody. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel, Ringo TV Reactions, for the best reactionary content on YouTube. Hands down, nobody else does a better job. And when you subscribe, make sure you click the notification bell and click all, because a lot of times when I go live, people complain that they didn't get no notifications, and it's because you have to click all notifications, not just, regular click. You got to click for all. So that being said, it is what it is. I'll be back on later, probably for a regular reactionary video. Probably, I'm most likely going to do a Kendra G reaction video, so you can look out for that later on. Probably going to be back on in another hour or two. And that's about it, man. Y'all take care. Be safe out there. And that's that. Ringo TV Reactions. You already done know. Y'all take care. Ringo TV Reactions. We out, fam. Peace. We out of here.
If you like our content, consider supporting via Cash App at $Ringo TV Raw. Become a patron on patreon.com for exclusive video content not shown on YouTube. You could also support through PayPal at paypal.me/Ringo TV Raw. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell to be notified of new content. Follow me on Instagram at Ringo TV Raw.
This is Ringo TV Reactions, the only channel on YouTube bringing you the truth, 100% raw and uncut. I'm out. Peace.